Spanish was named in honor of King Philip of Spain. Spanish explorer Ruy Lopez de Villalobos during his expedition in 1542 named the islands at Leyte and Samar, Filipinas after then Prince of Asturias. The Spanish were legacy of the Spanish occupation of the Philippines. The name Philippine itself was derived from Philip of Spain. The Spanish surnames were adopted to streamline government processes and strengthen colonial rule. Not all Filipinos adopted Spanish surnames. The Spanish brought the Philippines into the attachment of the Western culture. Particularly, the Spaniards introduced their own philosophy of life to the Filipinos as well as their habits, language, clothing, ways of amusement, including games, religion, arts, and even cooking. The Spanish brought with them the Catholic religion to the Philippines. They introduced it to the Filipino, which led to some uprising of the natives, who did not want the new belief system. Luckily for the Spaniards, the indoctrination of Catholic faith to the Filipinos happened. The Catholic faith in Spain most enduring legacy in the Philippines, a fact proven the presence of all the Spanish churches throughout the country. The Spanish governed the Philippines for 3 centuries. They thus had a major influence of Philippine culture and clothing. Traditional clothing was baro and saya. The baro is the top or blouse, and the bottom is the saya or skirt. The Spaniards made the native Filipinos, who they called Indios or Indians, to wear barongs, antak or to distinguish them from ruling class. An advantage for the Spanish was that when the natives were barros, it could be easily determined whether the wearer was bearing a weapon or not. The baro evolved in the barong Tagalog, commonly called just barong. It came from a formal skirt, but only once the 1940s and independence, the nation dress of the Philippines in Spanish time. Dress for the elite was much formal.
The Philippine Revolution, also called the Tagalog War by the Spanish, was a revolution and subsequent conflict fought between the Katipunan. Later, the Philippine Revolution Army and the Spanish colonial government. There were issues covering matters such as building, trench, and fortification equipment. Every male aged 15 to 50 with the bows and arrows, as well as the knives, and the burlock totes over officers' white European sword, enticing Filipino soldier in the Spanish army to defect, collecting empty cartridges for refilling prohibited unplanned sorties, inventories of captured armies and ammunition, fundraising, purchasing of arms and supplies abroad, unification of military commands, and exhorting the rich give aid of the soldier. The knife was the primary weapon used by the Katipunan during the Philippine Revolution. It was also used by the Filipino guerrillas and Bolomen during the Philippine-American War. The bolos served as a symbol for the Katipunan in the Philippine Revolution. Monuments of Andres Bonifacio as other notable Katipuneros depict him holding a bolo with one hand and the Katipunan flag in the other. Filipino force sometimes use improvised artillery, artillery weapons made by the water pipes reinforced with bamboo and timber which can only fire once or twice.
Philippines adopted many different food. Spain culture is one of the most influential food in the Philippines. We have around 80% food that is cooked and comes from Spain. There are the foods influence to the Filipino. Corn, sausage, sapodilla, Spanish beer, pastillas, paella, leche flan, kare-kare, lechon, sinigang, champorado, and lumpia.
Fiesta culture. The social lives of the native Filipino during the colonization of the Spaniards only revolved around the church since the priest of the friars was so-called overall manager of the whole community. The fiesta was one of the religious events of the Catholic Church. All Filipinos must attend to it or else they would be labeled as rebels or traitors. The fiesta was always the honoring of the town patron saints respectively held in different barrios or towns. This has given birth to other occasions done together in fiesta, such as food gathering and street parades. More contribution of the Spanish people to the Filipinos are noticeable in the current educational system, arts, and poetry, clothing, dances, house, and others.
Also influence us through our language. And this is the sum of the language that we inherit through the Spaniards. First is abajo, which is in Spanish abajo, different in spelling. And next, abanico, abanico. Avenida, avenida. Abuso, abuso. Abril, abril. Administrador, administrador. Administración, administración. Águila, aguelia. Agosto, agosto. Azul, azul. Baja, baja. Barco, barco. Bayabas, guayaba. Verde, verde. Ventana, ventana. Viernes, from viernes. Brazo, from brazo. Cariñosa, from cariñosa. Dalahita, from nahahita. Diciembre, from diciembre. Edad, from edad. Enero, from enero. España, from España. Guapo, from guapo. Hapon, from hapon. Julio, from julio. Junio, from junio. Jueves, from jueves. Cama, from cama. Cafe, from cafe. Queso, from queso. Coche, from coche. Kumusta, from chuchara. Libre, from libre. These are the words that we inherit from Spaniards, which is we hear from the dialects of Ilocano, Itawis, Hiligaynon, and different dialects of the Philippines.